Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and introduce yourself to the people, please.
Janelli.
Hi, Janelli. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You are listening and looking at the wife of Chinx, who's here because his album comes out Friday. JFK is the name of the album. Also, Biggs. I think some people may know you and seen you in some of the interviews.
In the background, kind of low key.
Speak closer to the mic for me.
What's going on, world? It's Biggs. How ya?
Biggs, you've been part of the Chinx music portion of his life for how long? Just for go ahead, talking to the mic.
Since 2008, when he came back home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've known him for years because we grew up in the same neighborhood.
You're from Far Rock also.
From Far Rock also, and we started working as soon as he started working on his EP. So I want to say that was in an official capacity since 2012, 2013.
We wanted you to come by, obviously, because we here at Hot 97, obviously, were Chinx was very supportive of us. Right. We were supportive of Chinx, and it was there was a lot of plans in play with the with his new record deal that he had to make sure that this was going to be a big deal, right? Because we had hit songs that he was on with French, and he was bubbling, and we, and things were cut short.
Right.
And Janelli, I didn't know you were coming by today. You can speak into the mic.
Yeah, neither did I.
How you doing?
Are you you're seeing the CD right now for the first time? How's the family doing? Is there anything you want the Chinx fans to know about his family? Because you don't do a lot of talking and you're not really into this.
Yeah, this is all new for me. I never was involved with his personal stuff when it came to the music and everything. I played the house role, but since he's been gone, I've had to basically take over full circle and just actually become him overnight. Meetings, interviews, everything. But the family is okay. We just taking it one day at a time. Sorry. The closer it gets to this moment, the more it's heartbreaking because as happy as we are that we're here, it's still bittersweet because it's like this is his hard work. Like he should be enjoying this, you understand? Not us. We should be celebrating with him, not for him. So it's getting harder and harder as the days go on. It's about to be 3 months since he's been gone.
Damn.
And every day is like facing it for the first time all over again. Like it doesn't seem real until you think about it. The kids are trying to soak it in. I think for them, it just feels like he's away. You understand? He's in the studio or he's traveling or something. It's moments like this where they see him on TV and they hear him on the radio. We attend an event that they realize, he's not here. And that's the girls, because my son still thinks that eventually someday he's supposed to come back.
Son's very young, right?
Yeah, he just turned 5. So for him, it's like, well, when is he coming back? Like, okay, I understand. He knows that he's gone. He just doesn't understand that death is like forever. He thinks at some point in time he's going to return. So it's hard. It's very hard. Yesterday's screening was like the shot of reality.
The documentary.
The documentary came out amazing. They did a wonderful job, but it just smacks you in the face that this is really real. Like he's really not here, and for all the wrong reasons. Like it's not like it was a tragic accident or or a health condition or something where we could anticipated on it, or like it was a tragic way that he was taken from us, and I just think it's so unfair. Like he, out of all people, just didn't deserve that.
Are you as far as the NYPD investigation and things like that, are you having to also deal with that? Or are there is that lawyers and things that deal with that?
We're in very close communication with them. I actually got a call from the detective the other day. They on everything. They see everything. They're paying attention.
So you're happy with their activity?
Oh yes, definitely. They definitely, Like I said, I just spoke with the detective on the case the other day, and he informed me that they do have very strong leads that they're following up on, and I'll be in communication with them sometime next week. But I just keep faith.
That's all you could do.
I refuse to just let it just go and just be brushed under the rug.
So this is important. The people being brought to justice on this is important.
Oh yes,
to you.
definitely. There's no reason we should be in this predicament. There is no reason at all. And like I said, he didn't deserve it. This is not a form of retaliation for something that he did to somebody. He wasn't. I don't care what he rapped about. He wasn't living that lifestyle.
Can you speak closer to the mic for us?
His life revolved around doing his music and taking care of his family. And there's like I said, there's no reason we should be in this situation. So justice is definitely my number one priority before anything. It just is not fair that his kids have to go the rest of their life without a dad. Like it's.
Can you we've talked about this probably 100 different times, and some of the audience doesn't understand because they see somebody like Chinx, who's a rapper who raps about things that might have been in his past life but weren't in his current life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he drives a Porsche or he has chains on,
Mm-hmm.
and people go, okay, well, why should I help his family? Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't they have money? Where
Mm-hmm.
from you as being the wife in the
Mm-hmm.
scenario, the woman at home with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
can you articulate, financially speaking, why it's important for Chinx fans and fans of this music to go out and support, because it's going to actually help support his kids that he's not able to do shows for anymore?
Yeah, I think the people from the outside looking in, they get this reflection that because you see an artist on TV or because you hear them on the radio, you think they made it to that platform where they're bringing $1 million already. Half the time, half of these artists aren't even signed to record labels. They're doing what they do on their own. I've watched him do this on his own and take money out of his own pocket for years. You understand? Putting together his own mixtapes, paying for his own videos, thousands of dollars out of his own pocket. And I just felt like everybody was under the impression because he drove a Porsche. Because at the end of the day, too, people don't understand that you have to hold up this image in this hip hop culture. You have to look like you're doing something. And that was one thing he always told me, because of course I hated the spending the money on the jewelry and the cars, and I just felt it was unnecessary. But he always explained to me that if you do not look like you're getting money, they do not fuck with you. Like, people respect you on another level when you carry yourself and look a certain type of way. When you look like you're doing more than the average, people gravitate to you in a different
It's real
order.
and it's sad.
Yeah, so he felt like he had to uphold that image.
But
And-
in Chinx's defense, he will say he always did look that way. Like, because even when Chinx didn't have a huge record out, Chinx looked very clean, very put together all the time.
But even when Chinx wasn't a known rapper or nobody knew who he was, that's who he was growing up.
That's why you loved him. He was just fly to start out with.
Yeah,
That's what was.
he always had his shit together, always was fly, always made sure he had the latest everything. That was him. So, it's not something that happened just because he started to do music or he was on the scene. He was always like that. So that was never going to change. And he always wanted better. So, he had a Porsche, but still making payments on it.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
He moved out of our Rockaway, but we was still, we wasn't sitting on somebody's 2,000 acres somewhere. Like, so he was still working his way up there. So personally, the album is very important for everybody to get, because I just feel like, it's not even so much of the dollar value of it, but it's the appreciation of what he left for his fans. He didn't do this for him to hear it every day. He did it for the people that support him, the fans that stop him everywhere he goes, the people who come to his shows, the ones who request his songs on the radio. This is who he did it for. And I've watched him work so hard for this moment that I feel like it's only right we give him the love and the support that he deserves, whether he's here or not.
I agree. How you know, when people go through loss like this, shocking loss of a young person, you know, when you see other people who love that person, it can be a very dramatic experience.
Yeah.
You know, were there people in the business who we know of who you have any sort of relationship with, who, you know, you took comfort in, or was really a big deal? Obviously, people think about French, but like what it was like when you saw these people who you knew were important, who you knew Chinx really loved as well.
There's a couple of people in the industry who had a very close relationship with him, from DJs to other artists like Mano, Vado, Busta Rhymes. Like, they love him. Like, they support him in everything he does. Everything we've put together, they've been involved, from the funerals to the listening event to just going by the candle site and, you know, lighting up a candle. So there's definitely a couple people in the industry who have shown their love from day one. And they always reach out, and they always let me know, like, if you need anything, you know, you're good. Like, you know, and I appreciate it so much, because it is heartwarming to see that people actually do care. You understand? That there are people out there who loved him, if not as much as I did, but you understand.
But they understood
like,
what made him great.
They know him, and they appreciated him as a person enough to still be around. You understand? From the label has been there every step of the way. Management since day one, through everything, and I'm so grateful to have them in my corner, because they have made this journey so much easier.
And what about the Coke Boys in French? Are they involved?
Yeah, we speak to French. You know, at the same time, you know, he's, as stated before, he's an artist, so he's very busy. You understand? I respect his schedule. We work around it. We try to figure out how we can link up sometimes when we have the chance to. His brother, I have a very close relationship with. I talk to him on an everyday basis. You know, and there's other members of their team that I talk to all the time. So, you know, they've been there.
Good.
Listen, JFK is available on Friday. There's a Stack Bundles record on this, ladies and gentlemen, that I think everybody would want to hear. On Your Body is something that's working well for us here at Hot 97, and Ye is obviously about to take off too in the club. So I still
don't want people to give up on Your Body. I think On Your Body still needs time, though.
On Your Body's the radio song.
You got a surprise? What do you mean?
Grab the mic.
What does that mean?
Grab the mic.
Ross just jumped on that record.
On Your Body?
On Your Body.
Okay.
Oh,
it was something that we were working on, obviously, when we were putting the project together. There were a couple of people that Chinx reached out to, and we kept the integrity of that intact. And, you know, Ross had gotten jammed up in a couple situations, so he couldn't get it back to us in time to put it out as a single, because that was something new for Chinx. But we're going to drop the remix early next week.
Oh, that's fantastic. I would love to see that song get more. I just think the first time I heard it, I was like, yo,
I didn't want that for Chinx.
I was like, Chinx is singing on this song.
I was like, nah, man.
Nobody did. But when you listen to the project, that was a crazy thing. We said, yo, we come in left field. A lot of people. That's why I said, yo, I got to get Ebro on this, because I knew a lot of people were going to be like, what the? And that's exactly why he wanted it.
But y'all know how I am. I could hear something and be like, I ain't fucking with this, but I'm going to play it anyway. Because, you know, let the audience decide. And now that people have heard it and it's, you know, it's been in rotation, people are really fucking
But it grew
with
on
that
me
song.
too. It just, I was like, wow, this is a well put together song.
They kill me in the morning the way they argue about songs. I love it.
Well, listen, I'm usually right.
Yes.
How complete was this album while Chinx was with us? How much of it is different? How much of it played out the same in spite of his passing?
The funny thing is, and Janelle can tell you guys this too, right before he passed away, the whole album was done. He's the type of person that'll live with his music for a while, and he'll play it for different people, and that's why we knew On Your Body was going to be the single. Ye actually came later in the project, and we did I think we did the new music meeting here at Hot 97 and played it for everybody. And the room went stupid. They're like, yo, this is because that's the signature Chinx. But we were about 85% done, and 3 days before he passed, you know, we sat down and we talked about the structure of the album and the rollout, you know, because the plan was to do this in October, but we had to come with a single, and we were going to, you know, heat up like 3 or 4 singles before we even dropped the project. So with the exception of the Stack record, which is something that we talked about doing, he heard every single record complete.
So what was the situation with the Stack record? That was a verse you guys had that you talked about doing.
It was us, you know, hitting up a couple of DJs to see who had some exclusive joints, because you know when Stacks passed, a lot of music came out, but nothing ever came into fruition.
Official. There was never an official
release,
album.
Yeah. And when his dad came home, we talked about trying to get something done, but it never happened. So, you know, when Chinx and I talked about the body of work that would go on this project, it was like, yo, we got to do something for Stacks on here. You know, and it was just like I said, getting the right verse. But when Chinx passed, you know, that made it that much harder, because, you know, you're really producing a record around somebody's vocals. And
that meant it's complicated. Yeah.
And now you have two people
around
that you have to. So we were in the studio and went through 5 or 6 takes until we got something that embodied New York music. You know what I mean? Like some signature street New York shit that, you know, everybody is just loving, because it just gives you that feel of what it should sound like. Oh. You know, and but I know he would be proud to know that, you know, even that we kept the signature of saying, this is what you want, and this is exactly what we're gonna execute on.
I know we're focusing on the album, and of course, and I'm sure Chinx recorded so much. Yeah. Do you guys, are you guys entertaining the idea of possibly continue to release some of the music that hasn't, you know, that didn't make some of the tapes, or some stuff that you guys probably have either with French or with anybody else?
The boss lady has given us the green light. You know what I mean? Like, it's, again, it can't stop. You know, he was busy for a reason, you know, and he's got so much work that we can continue to service the fans that you guys are going to be excited with. You know what I mean? We couldn't put everything on this project just because of the time that.
So is there a lot of material?
There's a lot of material. Like, we had our own studio, so and Janelle will tell you, if he wasn't at home, he was recording. You know, it's what he enjoyed to do for days. And I'm not talking about like going to sleep. Like, this man would stay up for 3 days straight and record. You know, so and
E Styles has told me too that he was pretty efficient in there. Like, he would get songs done.
Yeah, he would go in probably with the mind frame of, oh, I got to do a verse for somebody, or let me just go get a song done because somebody sent me a beat. And people used to flood him with beats on top of having his own producers that worked with him. So they'll get in the studio and just really just lock in, and they'll think they're going in there to do 1 or 2 songs, and by the time they're done, 3 days pass and there's like 10 songs done. And
so yes, you just got to be very mindful about what you decide to do with this body of work, right? Because obviously it's a limit. There's a limit to it. There's an end to it, but it's great that you have a huge amount. So it's about deciding, you know. And there's other people. Obviously, there's other formulas you can look at of how people have done it with, you know. And unfortunately, in hip hop, this comes up too often that we have to make these decisions on what you do with people's music. Did you guys feel like? I know when you're going through something like that, it's probably very hard to be aware of what the outside world is feeling. But were you aware, like, it really hit very hard and people were very affected by it? And I mean, I know for me personally, it was like I just couldn't shake it. I had to go to Atlanta that day to go do this barbershop scene, and I was all excited to go to Atlanta to do a scene in barbershop, and then I wake up to this news, and I was so just distraught by this. Like, I scared my brother. My brother thought someone in our own family died because I called my brother so upset. Like, so, you know, not only did I love Chinx personally because he was such a friendly, sweet guy, like whenever I saw him, but also, you know, E Styles worked really closely with him. E Styles is my right hand guy, and he always was. So Chinx was always in our conversation.
E Styles was in the studio with us the week.
Yes, he told me. E Styles told me a very sweet story about him playing you a song. There. And you and Chinx were like, he said Chinx was rapping to you, and you had, he shared this with me, this very sweet moment that you guys had. But like, so
I do.
Chinx's name was always up, like always around us. He was a big part of this station, like the way ever.
And so, even outside the station, because at the time when it happened, I was in Atlanta too. We were on our heavy hitter retreat, and there was DJs from all over. Like, we had over 60 DJs there, and I mean, just to see how it affected everybody there was really tough. And I believe he was supposed to be on the heavy hitter retreat with us too.
Yeah, they had hoped that it could have happened.
Yeah, so it was really tough. But he was loved.
So if you couldn't sense it, we hope you can. Like, he's very, very loved.
Definitely. After everything had happened, just even people that just never met him, never knew him. I've seen people who say, I've never even heard his music till after his death, and I'm hurt by it. Just listening to him and following his story they can sense what type of person he was. You understand? And just to know that he had a family and he was involved with his family, and to see how many people do care for him. It's touched a very large number of people from all over. I get the messages, the comments, everything from people in other countries, states. It's crazy. Like, I've had people reach out to me from Africa. Like, we love him down here. Like, and you would think that they don't even know him down there. And it's just amazing what the internet does, because they love him everywhere, and it's beautiful. And like I've said before, I just wish he could have seen how much love he got from all over.
And that's the crazy thing when I sit and I think about all the discussions that we've had. Like, Chinx was such a regular dude to everybody. We talk about it all the time. Like, he really didn't understand the impact that he was already having on people and the culture. So even like the day it happened, I think my phone rang in text messages for like 6 or 7 days straight of just people reaching out and offering condolences, and I got an opportunity to speak to Ebro because people were just like, somebody's got to say something, and I was in no condition, but it was because of the pouring out of people just like trying to understand what happened and what was going on, and just trying to let us know that they were there for us.
It's Chinx was the type of person that gave a lot, right, of himself to New York City's hip hop scene. Wrote songs for people, gave songs away to people, right? Like that, I know that, and people on the inside know that he was doing hooks for people, giving, would do a song, I'm not gonna use this here, you can have that, you know what I mean? Because he had such a great writing ability and awareness of music, right? So I think there was a lot of that love mixed with the fact that he's just a good person, right? And we all saw his growth from the moment he got out, coming here to the radio station, putting out the records, putting in the work, and being humble about the reality of, I need to put in my time, build my fan base, build my songs up, get my relationships up on a national level. So all of that thing, and that's the part that I think it's today hard for me to wrap my head around, because I've seen it so often, where you're right on the brink of leaving your old life behind and really about to cross into your dream, and it being taken away from you because of the evil that is still behind you, that's pulling on you from where you're from, or people who don't want to see you cross without them. Because sometimes that's the thing in the hood. It's that they don't want to be left behind, and they see you about to fly. And that's that dysfunction that comes with being from certain places. And, I think that pain and that reality, and the reason so many people are reaching out is because even if you were just about to go to college, in the Mike Brown, right? If you were about to be some sort of athlete, and, your neighborhood, unfortunately, is a place that could really harm you, and you never get to make that dream. I think everyone kind of knows someone or has experienced that even prior to this moment, where once again we lose someone who just was about to have that thing that they really wanted in their life, and it was taken away from them over something that was senseless, right? And that, it just, no matter how hard you try, it's always going to hurt, and it's always going to be there. And it's one of those things that I think we, as people who come from bad neighborhoods and dysfunctional situations, have to really, it's the burden kind of that we live with, right? It's just reality.
It's funny because the same things that make him relatable, in some situations make him, the black sheep. I've had interviews and talked to people where they say, okay, well, you know what? He's from the worst neighborhood, and he's talking about selling coke and dope and this, that, and the third. So, but, in our culture, these are things that validate artists. These are things that if you don't hear it in the music, and you don't find the facts to be true that these people came from the other side of the tracks, we don't respect them. So it's crazy.
A gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a curse because, just like Jay had a hustle, and he taught us how to change clothes, and it was only cool once Jay did it. You understand what I'm saying? This man had a story, and he rapped about what his experience was and what he knew, but and just to bring it back to this body of work, when you listen to this, it's a lot different. You know, there's a lot more substance because he had done some more living outside of the hood in the ghetto. So he had some different things to talk about. You know, he had some growth and some lessons that he's trying to. He went so much back to rapping and almost preaching on these records. You know, like
and the music is really good.
And the music is great.
It's not just that the bars are good and the songs are good and the writing's good, but the music itself is good.
But I think that's because it was when we sat down and we talked about this project, and you'll notice that, you know, our team did almost 80% of the project. There was a relationship involved in every song. You know, it wasn't just we took beats. You know, if it wasn't right, he wasn't writing to it. You know, there was arrangement and orchestration and some conduction that went on to actually make this project work. But that's what he felt like he needed to step over to the point of what we call, I guess you would say, crossover music or commercial music. You know, and it's to be celebrated because it's an accomplishment for him.
Well, listen, pick it up. JFK, available Friday. Appreciate you coming and sharing. I know it's a heavy burden. So
Yeah, it is.
anything you want to tell the people tuned in right now that from the family, words from you and the family?
Yeah, I just want everybody to know that we definitely are thankful. We're so thankful for all the love and the support that we've gotten since day one. Like I said before, you know, everybody from everywhere has reached out, between whether they were donating money to the family, whether they were, you know, want to do interviews just to speak on the case or to broadcast it and keep,
bring light to it.
Bring light to the situation, whether it's to talk about the album and promote it, you know, just checking up on the family, just asking about the kids, making sure that everybody's doing well, and it goes such a long way. Like, it's so appreciated. The support and the love that I get from everybody just makes my day so much easier. It doesn't leave me enough time to be depressed or to soak into my emotions, because there's just so much positive energy that I'm surrounded by, and we just want everybody to just support the album. You understand? Like I said before, he works so hard. So the only thing that I'm looking forward to is to hear everybody listening to Welcome to JFK, whether you've downloaded it, bought it, however, you understand. So we set up for tomorrow, just a minor get-together at the memorial site where everything happened. You know, we've asked the people to just come out. I know the last time we were there, we were mourning a death. This time I just want to celebrate his life, celebrate all the hard work that he's put in for us, and just come together on a positive note. You understand? And I just want everybody to continue to support. Like, we do have a lot of plans in the works with the possibility of more albums in a timely fashion. You know, we want to spread it out to where there's music for a while left behind. We have his clothing line that everyone inquires about, his Ye shirts, his hats. We're trying to expand it, bring more into it for the women, for kids, you know, put together a bigger situation, because everybody wants it. So we're going to give the fans what they're asking for. We're listening, we're paying attention, and we're just trying to bring it all together and try to fit as much as on our plate as we possibly can. But it's not going to stop. Well,
let's get on Chinx's first single off the album, which was On Your Body. Let's do that right now. And then let's play Ye also. What else should we play? What's another record you want to make sure get heard?
They all good. It's so hard to pick. Like, it drives me crazy.
All right, we'll play the Far Rock joint.
Yeah,
Stack Bundles. Let's do that. That's the right thing to do.
Yes,
hey, you guys,
definitely.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You.